The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
the Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City.
Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killie. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killie. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killie. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killie. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killie. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here.
Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival.
We lost someone very special to us, and his name is Billy Cuto, and he was the general manager of Four Seasons. He was a great man, and his impact in tourism will be everlasting. On behalf of the Nevis Tourism Authority, and by extension the Nevis Island Administration and the Nevis community, we just want to say deep condolences to his family, his friends, loved ones, and the entire Four Seasons community. Can we please stand and have a moment of silence? You may be seated. Thank you. Premier of Nevis and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Mark Brantley. Other ministers in the Nevis Island Administration. PS of Tourism, Mr. John Hanley. Chair of Nevis Tourism Authority, Ms. Pamela Martin. Director of VIP and MICE Services, Ms. Shalicia Glassford. Let me see. Agriculture, Minister of Agriculture, other managers, directors, board of directors for the Agriculture Department, Ministry of Tourism, and Nevis Tourism Authority. Celebrity Chef Brian Terry, all other well-wishers, media, mango lovers, good morning, and welcome to the 11th edition of the Nevis Mango Festival. My name is Fayon Jones, and I am the Director of Sales and Marketing here at the Nevis Tourism Authority, and I'm also the Interim Administrator and your Master of Ceremonies for today's proceedings. Now, I must admit, it has been a very long road to get here today. The team has been working for months, I dare say a year, to get Mango Festival together. And I just want to start by saying that we have a juicy, well-filled weekend that you can look forward to. You are going to experience nothing short of Nevisian heritage, culture, and of course, mangoes. But before I get into the overview of what we'll have this weekend, I want to take a step back and acknowledge the persons who would have done the initial work to put us here today. I want to acknowledge Greg Phillip, former CEO of Nevis Tourism Authority, along with some members of his team, Devon Liebert, former CEO, Julie Claxton, Tracy Fraser, and Charmaine Jeffers. They were some of the members who were present at Nevis Tourism Authority when this idea came about some 11 years ago. Now, from what I understand, they were in the boardroom having their usual back and forth, and it lasted a couple hours. There were many, many great ideas that were thrown out. I think I heard a pork and beer festival. I think I heard a fish festival. And, you know, after minutes, hours of deliberation, they were tired and hungry, and someone took out a mango, and the rest is history. Now, I must admit, what I do in our meetings now, I limit the amount of snacks because we can't have too many festivals in Nevis. So, I just want to say thank you to those persons who did the initial work. Because of them, we're here today. I also want to say thank you to the Premier Minister Brantley. He was also very instrumental, and the Minister of Tourism when the Nevis Mango Festival was implemented. So just a round of applause to all of those persons who were involved. Now, to get to the lineup, as we said, we have a very exciting lineup this weekend planned for you. We're here at the opening of the 11th edition of the Nevis Mango Festival. Right after this, at 10:45, we will have a panel discussion. That panel discussion will be led by our celebrity chef, Chef Brian Terry. And we're going to speak on many topics, but overall, we want to touch and highlight that healthy living and good lifestyle is what we should practice in today's world. I'm a bit excited because this festival is one of the only festivals in my mind that starts with an educational piece to it. So I just want to say kudos to the members of the team and the planning committee. Job well done on that. So today we'll finish at 12:30 p.m. and moving into tomorrow, which is July 4th, we will move to Ubrenta. Now at Ubrenta, we will have the master class, and that starts at 11 a.m. It will be led again by our celebrity chef, Chef Brian Terry. And I must admit, I've seen that there's no more spots available, so clearly we're going to have a good time. But I just want to encourage the general public, you can still come out and see what they will be preparing. And hopefully our good chef will share some of what he would have prepared tomorrow. I'm putting in a plug for me, kind sir. After that, that concludes at 12. We will move into the Mango Mania, which starts at 12:30. So from 12:30 to around 5 o'clock, we will have mango stoning competition, we will have tug of war, we will have mango eating competition, mixologist competition, music, great food, good company. It's an event that encourages everyone to come out, bring the entire family, and those events will be at Ubrenta. Right after that, all roads lead to Penny's Beach, where we will be having the mango crawl, or I dare say the mango walk. Because of the proximity of the bars, we will be walking from bar to bar and sampling the various mango-infused cocktails on Penny's Beach. That will start at 7 p.m. It is slated to end at 11 p.m., but I know when mangoes and alcoholic beverages get together, it may pass 11 o'clock. Please bring your designated driver. Moving on to the Saturday, we will be touring Nevis. It is an island tour with a twist. It's called a passport food tour, and we will be visiting 7 mom and pop stores, and they will have the mango-infused dishes for you to sample. So picture yourself on a safari or party bus going through Nevis and sampling different local cuisines infused with mangoes. I think we're going to have a good time. That starts at 11:30, and ends at 5 p.m. Just to put a quick plug in, just to remind persons who are coming over from St. Kitts, please catch the 10 and the 10:30 boat, and I will see you at the pier where we will have a good time, of course. Right after that, all roads lead to Golden Rock, where our celebrity chef, he will be preparing a 3-course meal. We all know how beautiful Golden Rock is, and I must say again, all of the spots have been purchased for that evening, and it promises to be a lovely, elegant affair. And as we say locally, you will get to put on your dandana. So that will start at 7 p.m. and end at around 9 p.m. Now, after that, that concludes the Saturday, which is July 5th. We will move to Sunday, which is the showstopper for the love of mangoes, the big event. We are right here at the venue, which is the Malcolm Gishard Park. We will be having up to 50 sample chefs. We'll be having a VIP curated by Karambola. The mango concert returns, and I must acknowledge Abena Amri. She's also here, the headline performer for that evening. And it's a day filled with fun. We have your children, we have the play zone, you're sampling many different samples, and essentially what we are selling here overall is Nevisian culture and cuisine. Now, just to give a brief overview, the Mango Festival was started 11 years ago to encourage heads in beds or persons to come to Nevis, tourists, on the shoulder months, which is the slow season. I dare say I think we are at that crossroad where we are bringing in persons from all over the world. I know last year we had persons from Africa, the year before Australia, and we have seen hits in India this year. But I can confirm that we're having persons from the US, the UK, Canada, and most of the Caribbean islands. So I just want to say congratulations to all persons who participate. Nevisians, I know you can be very proud that finally that we are bringing in persons on the shoulder month. So just give yourself a round of applause for that. So I think I might have said in the beginning I was going to be brief. So I'm going to stick to that. And I just want to close by saying I want to encourage everyone to come out this weekend to the Nevis Mango Festival. If you haven't purchased your tickets yet, we have physical tickets at NTA. But I encourage you to go online, www.nevismangofest.com. I repeat, www.nevismangofest.com. And I know I'm going to see you this weekend. And once you see us, any member of the team, whether it's volunteers, NTA, the various ministers, managers, whoever, give us a high five. And I think that's going to indicate that you're having fun. So I'll see you guys this weekend. Thank you. We will now have remarks from our celebrity chef, Chef Brian Terry.
So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Nevis Mango Festival. So before I dive into my comments, I need your help. I'm going to do a short call and response. So I'm going to make the call, and I need you to respond with vigor and enthusiasm. Can everyone agree to do that? Yes. That doesn't sound vigorous or enthusiastic. Can everybody agree to do that? Yes. All right, y'all ready? Shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
Shake, shake the mango tree.
We got to run that back. Come on. All right. So let me give you a little context. I just got back from Ghana, where I've been for the past 2 weeks. I've been on a 10-hour flight. I haven't seen my family in 3 weeks. I need your enthusiasm and energy so that I can give you the most enthusiasm and energy. So let's get this. Shake, shake, shake. I need your enthusiasm and energy so that I can give you the most enthusiasm and energy. So let's get this. Shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
Shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
For me.
One for you and one for me.
Shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
Shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
All right, thank you. Y'all did it, okay? So for those of you who do not know me, I am an Oakland, California-based James Beard award-winning chef, recognized for my making a positive impact on our food system. I'm a publisher who runs Four Color Books, an imprint of Penguin Random House, and we collaborate with the most forward-thinking chefs, artists, activists, and innovators of color to publish visually stunning books. I'm an author of 7 books myself, and I'm also a multidisciplinary artist who just completed his MFA in art practice at UC Berkeley just last month. I cannot tell you how honored I am to be here in Nevis for this festival. It's been such a pleasure working with Fayon and Julie and the whole team at the tourism board. And I want to thank you. That energy and enthusiasm that you gave me when we were doing the call and response is exactly what this festival is about. It's about joy, abundance, and community. I'm honored to be here on this beautiful island to celebrate the mighty mango, not just abundance and community. I'm honored to be here on this beautiful island to celebrate the mighty mango, not just as a delicious fruit, but as a symbol of heritage, creativity, and savor incredible dishes, learn from farmers and healthy food and lifestyle advocates, chefs, and we will share stories to remind us that food brings us together. So let's keep that spirit of celebration alive as we kick off this year's festival, and welcome, and let's shake the mango tree all weekend. Thank you.
You're very generous. Usually people don't give them back in Nevis. Thank you, Chef Bryant. Can we give him another round of applause, please? So at this moment, I want to acknowledge the sponsors. Without you, this is not possible. And I must commend and say that the sponsors have came on board in a very big way this year. And when I call them out, obviously, they would stand and we will acknowledge them. And I would like to acknowledge them with a round of applause once they stand. So for the platinum sponsor, we have the Nevis Island Administration. Mr. Pierce, I think you'll have to stand for this one. Thank you very much for your contribution. For the VIP partner, we have Carambola Beach Bar. For the premier sponsor, we have Island Purified Water. And also for the premier sponsor, we have the Four Seasons Resort Nevis. And also for the premier sponsor, we have the Four Seasons Mango. We have the Bank of For signature sponsor, we have a national group of companies. We also have Rams, Good Food People. Carib Brewery. We're still under the signature sponsor. We also have TDC. And Cape Air. For Essence sponsor, we have Trident Trust, CNC Trading Limited, The Cable, Digicel, Quartz, and we also have various ministries within the NIA on top of that. So needless to say, I think the support has been great this year. I think this is a testament to show that the festival is going in the correct direction. And I also want to put a plug in to say, if you haven't come on board yet as a sponsor for the Nevis Mango Festival, no worries, we have next year as well. And we encourage you to come on out and continue to support Nevis Mango Festival. Because when you support the festival, you support Nevis and you support tourism, which is the main industry for the island. So let us all get on board and be great corporate, social, responsible partners. So for the ones who are on board, stay with us. And for the ones who haven't come yet, we will see you next year. So thank you very much to the sponsors. Now, we will have brief remarks from the Permanent Secretary, Mr. John Hanley.
Pleasant good morning to everyone. All protocols observed and adopted. It is my distinct pleasure to be here at the official opening of the 11th edition of the Nevis Mango Festival. We noticed that over the years, the festival has expanded and improved, and it is now one of the signature summer offerings in the Federation of St. Kitts. Last week, just a few days ago, we had the music festival over in St. Kitts, our sister island, and now we are about to launch the Nevis Mango Festival. Coming up shortly, we will have the St. Kitts and Nevis Restaurant Week, and then we cap off our summer of fun, if you will, with Culturama, which is the Caribbean's greatest summer line. We have had a good trajectory from the start of the Nevis Mango Festival to the 10th edition last year, where over 3,000 persons attended the events that were spread over the 4 days of that festival. All indications are that we are on target to exceed those previous levels during the 11th edition of the Nevis Mango Festival. I want to give my commendations to the steering committee, the staff at the Nevis Tourism Authority, who are the driving force of this festival, and also my own staff at the Ministry of Tourism, who collaborated in many ways with the Nevis Tourism Authority. I also want to join Mr. Jones in thanking our many sponsors. Without you sponsors, the Nevis Mango Festival would not be successful. And we have many wishers, and I want to thank in advance the 3,000 or 4,000 persons who we anticipate will show up when we have our event on Sunday, our concluding event. Payan would have spoken to the range of experiences that we can expect during the Nevis Mango Festival, including one of my very favorite, the mango eating contest, mango stoning. I don't think they actually use stones, but it's called mango stoning nonetheless. We will be on Saturday having a culinary tour, including 7 small eateries around the island. And I am hoping from the point of view of the Ministry of Tourism that those kind of tours are things that our taxi drivers and our tour operators can develop more fully in the future. We also have the Supper Club, as was mentioned earlier, which is an exclusive dining experience at Golden Rock. And as I previously mentioned, the grand finale for the Love of Mangoes right here at the Malcolm Gishard Park. We are, of course, delighted to have celebrated and world-renowned celebrity chef Brian Terry to share his enormous experience with us here in Nevis. His focus on plant-based cuisine is quite attention-getting and topical, given the current strong interest in healthy eating. From our perspective at the Ministry of Tourism, we are delighted at the opportunity to collaborate with the Nevis Tourism Authority in terms of the promotion of local festivals, which is a critical part of our product development thrust. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Tourism and the Honorable Premier, Mark Brantley, who is unavoidably detained by matters of state, I take great pleasure in declaring the Nevis Mango Festival 2025 officially open. Thank you.
Get excited. Okay, so we are finally here. And in closing, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming out. We've had a great opening. We are going to take a short break, and refreshments are in the back. And as I said, right after at 10:45, we are going to go into the panel discussion. So in closing, I just want to encourage everyone, visit www.nevismangofest.com. We have a great weekend in store for you. And come and experience Nevis, what we have to offer, culture, and our great local cuisine. I think we are going to have a great time this weekend, and I can't wait. Again, thank you. Nevis Mango Festival is now officially open. Thank you. You may proceed to get some refreshments, and we will start the panel discussion at 10:45. Thank you.
Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here
in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet, so give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival. sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little.
11th edition in Queen
Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and I know I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I some a lime and a nothing a go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Some a lime and a nothing a go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action mango festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and a nothing I go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival, Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little mango.
How much of it to eat? And we have here Daniel Arterton. I know he's a very big guy when it comes to agriculture, and he speaks about what to plant and all that good stuff. I've had the privilege to go to his farm and pick stuff on his farm. Chef, I see you have my mango, but I'll leave that alone for now. And last but not least, we have Beryl Seaton from Helen's daughter. Right? So I would now like to pass it over to Chef Brian Terry. Let us have a good, interesting discussion. Over to you, sir.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to the 2025 Nevis Mango Festival. And we are going to kick this off with another call or response. So we're going to go shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
Shake, shake, shake the mango
Mango yellow, mango green.
Mango yellow, mango green.
One for you and one for me.
One for you and one for me.
Shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
Shake, shake, shake the mango tree.
All right, thank you all. So it is such an honor to open this year's celebration with a conversation that can we have a little quiet in the background? Sorry. So this conversation goes beyond the sweetness of mangoes, though we will certainly honor that too. Today, we're digging into something even deeper, the roots of wellness, sustainability, and cultural pride that nourishes our communities across Nevis, St. Kitts, and the wider Caribbean. Are you guys feeling that? Y'all really feeling that? So as Mr. Fionn Jones, the Nevis Tourism Authority's Director of Sales and Marketing reminds us. So, okay, really quickly, just a point of order. I am very clear that the conversation among these brilliant and committed panelists is very important. So could we please, if there are any conversations that need to be had in the back, could the conversations be taken outside or somewhere so that we can not have the background noise that could be distracting to the conversation happening here? I don't know if that's landing with people, but yeah. Thank you. So as Fionn Jones said, when it comes to eating healthfully and living a healthy lifestyle, the people of Nevis and St. Kitts are not just jumping on a wagon. They've been on this course, end quote. For generations, Nevisians and Kittitians have known the power of eating from the land, of living in harmony with the earth. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. If you can hear my voice, clap 3 times. Thank you, thank you. Nevisians and Kittitians have known the power of eating from the land, of living in harmony with the earth, cultivating their own food, and passing down the wisdom of wellness through family, farming, faith, and flavor. Are y'all feeling that? Are y'all in agreement with that? What we're doing today is not introducing something new. It's a joyful act of remembering. We are reminding ourselves and the world that healthy living is not a trend here. It's tradition, it's a way of life, and it's the foundation of vitality. In fact, if we trace these practices back to the motherland, we see a lineage of ancestral knowledge rooted in self-sufficiency, respect for the earth, and the understanding that food is medicine. Y'all know about that, right? So this panel brings together local leaders who embody this ethos in remarkable ways, from sustainable farming to luxury hospitality. Oh, we have a lot of extraneous noise going on here. It's okay. I just want to make sure we get that out the way. I don't care if you interrupt me. I just don't want to interrupt these brilliant people up here. Their work reflects a shared commitment to cultivating wellness, not just in our bodies, but in our communities, our economies, and our spirits. And just to give you a little context about who I am and why I'm up on this stage, to be clear, I'm not a restaurant chef, and I never had the desire to be a restaurant chef. My entree into this work around health, food, and farming issues actually started when I was a graduate student in history working on a PhD at NYU, New York University, and I was pursuing the field of the African diaspora that really looks at the way in which these practices that we're talking about are connected not only on the African continent, but throughout the globe where people of African descent have gone. And so after going to graduate school, I decided to go to culinary school. And let me tell you one of my major inspirations for why I'm doing this work and why I'm up here. Do you all know about the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense? You've heard of them, right? The Black Panthers. I think it's important to know. I live in Oakland, California. This is where the Black Panthers were founded in the mid-1960s. And I know we colloquially call them the Black Panthers, but I think it's important to note that when they were founded, they were called the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. Why? Because what they were responding to is police violence. They were responding to the police coming into black communities, violating the rights of black citizens, and in many cases, killing black people. And so they emerged to police the police. But what they found is that while doing that, they understood that there were a number of material concerns in black communities and other historically marginalized communities that weren't being addressed. So they understood that a lot of these oppressive systems were corrupt, were unreformable, and there needed to be a revolution. And what their philosophy was survival pending revolution. This wasn't some, abstract, theoretical, heady intellectual idea of Marxism or communism where it's just like, not recognizing the everyday needs of people. This was about looking at these structures, understanding their flawed nature, thinking about how we can upend them. But in the meantime and in between time, how can we take care of the basic needs of people living in communities? And what they did in response to that is they created over 60 programs called their survival programs. And these survival programs were aimed at meeting the basic needs of people living in historically marginalized communities. Because the Black Panthers were focused on the black community, but they had this analysis that understand that under capitalism, it thrives on the oppression of many people. And it needs an underclass in order for it to be healthy and thrive in the way that capitalism works. And so they were about freedom and liberation for all people. But what they found was there were, material needs. Elderly people needed to be transported to their doctor's appointment and to the hospitals. So they had a program that responded to that. Sickle cell anemia, which is a disease that impacts mostly people of African descent. And as we know, typically these type of diseases that mostly impact people of African descent largely do not get the funding for research that a lot of diseases that, typically impact white people. So they were doing testing on sickle cell anemia. So a number of these programs, but they had this brilliant and cutting edge analysis that looked at the intersection of poverty, malnutrition, and institutional racism. And they responded to it because what they saw is that there were children who were not just food insecure, not just, thinking about, well, where can I get as we often think about today, a healthy, sustainable, organic vegetables. These were kids who were food, they didn't know where their next meal was coming from. These were kids who were going to school hungry. And there are many people in the community who are dealing with poverty and hunger and food insecurity. And so they had two programs that moved me more than any of their survival programs that address food insecurity. They had their grocery giveaways in which they were giving bags of groceries to people who are living on the margins and who didn't have enough money to get themselves vegetables, fruits, grains, legumes, whatever they needed. And they had their free breakfast for children program. Has anybody heard of this program before? If you haven't, the Free Breakfast for Children program was started in January of 1969 with the help of a reverend in Oakland, California, who opened up the church in order to allow the Black Panthers to implement this work. And by the end of that year, it had spread to every major city that had a Black Panther chapter, and they were feeding over 10,000 children every single morning. 10,000 children. This was grassroots activism at its finest. Does anybody in here have a problem with feeding children? Poor children living on the margins, a hot, nourishing breakfast every morning. Anybody have a problem with that? Do you know who had a problem with that? The United States government, the FBI. In fact, the director of the FBI at the time, J. Edgar Hoover, said that this Free Breakfast for Children program represented the most dangerous threat to the United States. When the revolutionary Fred Hampton was preparing to start the Free Breakfast program in Chicago, the night before they were about to open the program, the police broke into the gymnasium or the center where they had all the food, where they were preparing to feed these children, and did unspeakable things to that. What kind of system is it when you have the government, when you have these institutions that are supposedly protecting us, who are actually doing everything in the opposite? And I just have to bring this to the present moment, because we cannot ignore that we are seeing the same thing happening now. These institutions are doing everything to upend the work, the commitment, the progress that our revolutionaries, that the people who care about equal and human rights for everyone have been doing over the past 50, 60 years. So I just wanted to give that context, and I think it's important to kind of frame this conversation with that. So with that said, let's dive in. And we're going to celebrate what's already strong. We know what the issues are. I think many of us are aware of these structural realities, but let's keep our eye on the wins. As an educator, it was always important to me because in response to all this, I decided to found this organization called Be Healthy, which worked with high school students in New York City, using food and cooking as a way to really empower them, teaching them the basic skills they needed to make their own meals, because so many of these kids, they're getting their food from fast food restaurants and from the corner stores, lots of processed, packaged, and unhealthy food. And we wanted to empower them. Jah does love the children, yes, and we must protect them. And so, they started this program. I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. Let's just jump into it. So I'm just gonna quickly give a more expanded introduction to our panelists so you have a very clear sense of who they are and where they're coming from. First, Daniel, who is an esteemed resource economist and consultant with over 30 years of experience. Daniel has advised governments, regional institutions, and small businesses throughout the Caribbean with deep roots in agriculture and entrepreneurship. His work supports inclusive growth, economic resilience, and innovative development strategies. Let's give a hand for Daniel, please. Next up, we have Janiza, a registered dietitian and nutrition officer at the Nevis Health Promotion Unit. Janiza is a fierce advocate for youth wellness and community health. She's known for making nutritional guidance both practical and empowering, building bridges between science, culture, and everyday life. Let's give a hand to Janiza. Next up, we have Beryl Seaton, a farm her. Y'all feeling that? Like, about his story. We need to be focusing on her story, having a gendered analysis of these historical phenomenon. Well, Beryl is a farm her, all right? Incorporate into your lexicon. So Beryl is also a poet and financial services veteran. She's the founder of Garden of Grace Farm, a sustainable backyard farming initiative in Nevis. She's also an ambassador for Helen's Daughters and leads Grow Box for Empowerment, supporting persons with disabilities through accessible gardening. Her poetry and advocacy uplift Caribbean women, ancestral wisdom, and food sovereignty. Let's give a round of applause for Beryl. And last but not least, Chef Allison Y. Smith Mason. And I make it a point, whether it's physicians, research PhDs, or chefs, I always respect them by putting respect on their name and saying doctor, chef, because I know the challenges that women deal with in these fields that are very gendered, that often make it so hard for them to survive. And we know that the restaurant industry, kitchens are very gendered spaces, oftentimes very dominated by men, white men, lots of aggressiveness and violence, and as we've seen over the years, sexual misconduct to which women have to deal with. And I've seen this happen, and so I'm gonna put some respect on Chef Allison's name and say, Allison is a hospitality professional originally from Barbados. Her career spans luxury resorts across the region. Now based in Nevis, she blends global culinary influences with island traditions, crafting unforgettable dining experiences rooted in culture, service, and curiosity. She's a true steward of Caribbean hospitality excellence. Please give a round of applause for Allison. So I know that Chef Allison needs to get out of here at around 12:45. Is that correct? So we're gonna, I wanna ask everyone to very succinctly and briefly, I wanna begin by inviting you to reflect on your personal and professional journey, especially as it relates to food, wellness, and cultural identity. And so I'll put these questions out. Feel free to answer them, but you can take it in whatever direction you'd like. And I'm gonna start with you, Allison, and then we can go this way. So the two questions that I've written: how has your work been shaped by the land, the people, and the traditions of Nevis, St. Kitts, or the wider Caribbean? And in your view, what does it truly mean to live well here, not just in terms of physical health, but in terms of community, legacy, and the future that we're cultivating together?
Basically, my work has changed as the food industry and everything has evolved. Obviously, your work has to evolve. Before we were cooking, traditionally, like, you cook at home. That's how I grew up with my great-grandmother. She was a short lady, but she had to get on a stool to stir cuckoo, which is our local dish. Cuckoo and flying fish was our local dish. But she used a cooking wooden spoon, a wooden stick to actually stir the cuckoo. No, we don't do it like that. The first time I cooked cuckoo for my mom, I used a whisk. And she was on the phone talking to her aunt, and she's giving my aunt this blow-by-blow, a commentary about how I'm using this whisk to make this cuckoo. And she's like, I don't know what they're teaching in the hotels, in the industry, but she's going with this whisk. And she's having this, I'm actually cooking for her, and she's actually on the phone with her aunt, having this conversation, this commentary going on, and I'm there, I'm like, Mom, it's going to come up the same way, but they came up with this wooden stick. That is what they use. But in the industry, we found ways to make it, you're not spending a whole day over a hot stove stirring this meal to cook it out. No, you're soaking the meal, and you could whisk it, and it comes out a lot lighter than what we would normally be with a heavy cornmeal. So when I finished the dish, and I said, okay, Mom, come and have your meal, she said, I'm going to eat this food, but I'm going to try it. She wasn't too excited about the prospect, but she was like, okay, well, I can try it. And then she actually had seconds because it wasn't as heavy as what she grew up or how she used to make it. And it's a lot lighter when you use the whisk. So she could actually have seconds for this dish. It's not something that you eat it and it's just going to sink and you're like, you can't even move from the table. So moving forward, I was actually making cuckoo. So when I make cuckoo, I'm making for her, I'm making for my household, I'm making for my aunt, I'm making for this person. So I'm making a big pot of cuckoo, which is cornmeal and okras. Here is fungi, which it has spinach and cornmeal. So coming here, I had to, it's not the same because the okra, the slush from the okra actually cooks out the meal. Here they use milk and water and butter to cook out the cornmeal. And then you add the spinach after. You can add some basil to give it a little kick, but it's a whole different concept. And the meal is different to what we use in Barbados. So it's a bit heavier. So I had to adjust to that. So cooking through the Caribbean and cooking through my entire culinary career, you have to adjust to the trends. You have to adjust to the cultures. But what I try to do is I try to make it fun. I don't want boring food because I'm not going to eat it all the time. If it's boring, I don't want to do it. So I try to put a spin on whatever I'm cooking, whatever I'm baking, and I get excited to try flavors. So if I'm trying a recipe for the first time, I'm going to follow it to a T. But then after that, it's my own little spin on that recipe. It's not going to be the original recipe. And that's how we have to get excited about food. I find that we're eating too much fast food. We're eating out too much in the restaurants. And we're using, a lot of these restaurants using a lot of preservatives. They're using a lot of stuff that has in MSG and all this stuff. When I cook, I try to cook as clean as possible. There's very few spices I use. I don't use all these blended spices, all these mixes and so forth. Garlic powder, onion powder, parsley flakes, thyme, paprika, smoked paprika, kosher salt, black pepper. That's it. I don't use all the other blended stuff because they have a lot of salt. And then we wonder why we have high blood pressure. Why are we suffering from sugar? Why are we overweight? Why are we having all these health issues? Because we're eating out. We're eating fast food. And that's not how I grew up. Growing up in the Caribbean, we ate fresh food. We may not have had a lot, but we ate fresh food. Whether you go and cut green bananas from your banana trees or your neighbor will exchange stuff. So if somebody in our family, we grew up in close-knit. So if one family raised chicken, somebody else did pig, somebody else did something. And when they butcher, they just swap. So everybody had some of everything. If somebody had a kitchen garden, we're going to have, somebody's going to put tomatoes and cucumber in this one, somebody can do herbs in another one, and then they share. So it's not that you're, overworking the ground or anything like that. But I find now we become selfish as a community, as a people. We just want for us. We're not living and sharing as a community. We're just living and just me. And that's not how I come up. That's not how I grew up. I grew up we're outside. We're not in the house watching TV and these games. We're outside running around in the rain. We're trying to see who mango we can steal. And that's what we did. As soon as you leave home and we know you had a mango tree and your mangoes were sweet, we coop in that mango tree, So somebody's going to be on the lookout to see when you leave home and when you're going to come back. And if you take different paths, we're going to monitor you over the days. So we're going to see, they had this gentleman, he would leave home and he would leave and walk down the street. But then sometimes he would come back up on the beach because his house was on the side of the street that the beach was on that same side. I lived on the other side. And some of my other friends we all live in the same area. So we monitor him and he was like very particular about his mangoes. He didn't want anybody picking his mangoes, but we wanted his mangoes. So we cooped him on a regular. So if you leave home, somebody's on the road to see when he's coming back and somebody's on the beach to monitor him so we can go and get our mangoes. And that's how we live as a community. I find we're not living like that anymore. We're going out, we're driving around in our big cars. We don't want to give each other a ride anywhere. We're just selfish. And I think we need to come back as a community. We need to come out and do kitchen gardens. We need to be able to share with our neighbors. If my neighbor has plantain or a plantain tree or bananas or whatever, you cut a hand of bananas and say, here, this is, here, have a hand of bananas, whether they're ripe bananas, green bananas, whatever it is. But we're not living like that anymore. We would rather have the stuff stay on the tree and rot, and we're not sharing with the neighbors. Where I live now in Barbados, my mom and her neighbors live like that. They still share. They still will give each other bananas, chicken, whatever they're producing at their home. They will still share, pass over the fence or whatever the case is. But I find that as we go out and we get more educated, we're getting more selfish. It's a whole me concept, and I think we need to break apart from that. We need to experiment with recipes instead of going out and you can have a date night at home. You can just buy the ingredients and your partner and your kids can cook at home instead of going out and having fast food, KFC and all these restaurant stuff. Try to incorporate something that helps the kids, because a lot of these kids, they will tell you they want a Chinese food. They'll tell you they want Chinese. And you can cook the same Chinese food at home. I don't buy Chinese. And I don't have anything against buying Chinese food, but I know what I want. I know when I cook that food, what is in it. So I think we need to get the young people to, start to cook at home, and instead of going out and saying, I want, a already prepared dish, give them a recipe and let them start to cook. I have a godson, and he makes his mom for Mother's Day, he would make her breakfast. She monitors him, but he's willing to do simple things because he wants to be a chef. So the next thing he wants me to teach him is how to make sushi, because that's his favorite food. But he's willing to learn. But I think we have to incorporate these things with our kids when they're young, so that they're not going to get stuck with this fast food element.
Thank you, Chef Allison. And I just want to concur with everything that you said. I think we're living in a historical moment, and we've been in a historical moment where this culture de-incentivizes the sense of communalism, collective care, sharing that so many of our families and communities have had in the past. And I also think that these practices that you're describing, so many of these things, as you mentioned, it's not just your family, but so many of our families, so many of our ancestors had these practices of making food from scratch, growing food in gardens. But these systems, whether it be colonialism, imperialism, capitalism, they depend on us not taking care of each other. And so what I always say is it's important for us to remember, piece back these histories. It's nothing new. We don't need to be taught to do these things. We need to mind these histories, talk to our elders, understand that these are things that have been a part of our culture, and we just need to revive them. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So what Alison would have shared, I also share the same sentiments, right? So for me, I'm a dietitian. And of course, I'm living in the Caribbean region where we have specific food practices or specific habits that are shaped because of our heritage, our customs and traditions. So the unfortunate thing is that we are moving more so towards a more modernized way of preparing food. We are having a lot of Western habits. So as Alyssa would have mentioned, we're eating a lot of processed foods, right? Ultra-processed foods, foods that are high in fat, high in salt, high in sugar. So we are seeing this generation shifting from what we are accustomed to and our culture, which was using minimally processed foods, not as much additives. We are using our backyard seasonings, our green seasonings. They were more fit, more healthy. They were accustomed to being in the farms, gardening. In terms of transportation, they would walk everywhere. So in the past, our ancestors, of course, were more active and healthy people. So in my role as a dietitian, of course, it shapes what I'm able to recommend to certain persons. You have to consider people's culture, right? And that's in a way, how you get persons to be able to adjust, for example, to a specific dietary recommendation. People want to be able to still use things that they're familiar with or are easily accessible to them. So as a dietitian, I have to be able to keep that in mind while recommending certain food choices or food recommendations. So for example, if someone has diabetes, for example, of course, I'll take the mangoes into as an example. We do have our mango seasons, and we're all accustomed to climbing a mango tree when we were younger, and we would eat bucket loads of mangoes. You would eat maybe 10 mangoes in a day, right? But of course, as a dietitian, if you do have diabetes, you have to be more mindful of the quantities that you're eating. So I have to be able to consider, you can't necessarily tell someone, don't eat any mangoes, it's gonna spike up your blood sugar. Not many people would be able to adhere to something like that. But while you do have the benefits of mangoes, we have to be able to make recommendations as far as being able to balance, having moderation, learning how to cut back, probably not all at once, but, in moderation. We have to consider persons' cultures, their habits, what they're able to afford. We have to take that into consideration. Yes.
Thank you so much for that, Janiza. And I just want to say that, kind of underscore the importance of putting a helpful diet in the context of people's heritage foods and culinary traditions. We should be eating the foods of our ancestors, but how can we do that in a way that's healthful, that's sustainable, and that ensures that we have longevity? So thank you for the work that you do.
Yeah. Very good morning to everyone. I think if I understood you clearly, you asked for some sort of historical where we came from, the pathway here. I come from a farm family on both sides. On my father's side, my father was responsible for the catchment area over at Camp Spring, and it was 14 acres. And so at that time, he was responsible for all of the water infrastructure throughout the island of Nevis. And what that meant is that we had every conceivable fruit that you have. We used to sell bananas by the truckload. We sell breadfruit by the bags. We sell avocado by the baskets. We sell bread nut by the oil tins, and that sort of thing. On my father's side, on my mother's side, I'm an armory, and so the famous armory pally was developed by my grandfather, my great grandfather Nick Armory, and then what has happened over time is that my grandmother, which was my mother's mother, she used to work on the estates, and she used to weed. So I was immersed in agriculture and that sort of thing from I was a child. And I decided fairly early in my life that I wanted to, merge that water consciousness from my father's side and the land from my mother's side. And so we always had animals. And then I had an uncle, Willie Amory, who was one of the best persons in terms of preserves and basket making and all of that sort of thing in Nevis. And so, I've come from a tradition of a lot of sustainability stuff. And so I decided I'm going to do my part. So I became the pioneer in hydroponics. And then I also have now a sustainable farm enterprise where I do all of the things using modern and, cultural practices. So I have lots of over 120 species of fruits, vegetables, herbs, and different technologies. What I also do is, that was one time my formal livelihood for the first 37 years of my life. And then after that, I switched over to business management and working internationally. And then I'm now back home. So I retired, and I retired as in putting on 4 new tires. And then putting on those 4 new tires, I'm now back on a 5-acre plus farm where I try to lead by example. I like working with the children. Bob Marley has a song that says stiff-necked fools. I'm not referring to anybody, but the children are not. So I like working with the children because they're pliable. And so I invite them to come to the farm, do their SBAs, come and visit with me. I take them around. They ask me questions. I tell them there's no foolish question, only a foolish answer. And so I really like that. And so I try to work with persons in the hotel industry to make sure that they understand. I also try to educate people that if you come on my farm, you can see if you do not have the wherewithal to do extensive production, you can have a block farm where you can have blocks, put them down and mix soil with organic matter, and you can have something that you can get some good food out of that controlled environment. And so, it's a place that, people have come to know. From Four Seasons to, I'm integrated with the place that Allison work where we sell them, items. So that's basically, in a nutshell, the kind of things that I do as it relates to agriculture. Yep. But I like working with people, and I'm into business development. So I like helping people see the business way of doing things rather than, just getting up and doing that. I'm very concerned about our sense of business in this country. I think a lot of us are functionally innumerate, so we do not do a very good job of counting. That's why we waste a lot of money. But I think what should happen is that we are all of the statistics say that we are functionally literate. 95% of our population are literate. But if you're literate and you're not numerate, it's not very good because you spend most of your money. You're speaking about the African American society in the United States. It's $1 billion society in terms of the capture, but in the retention, that money goes right out. In 6 days, it's already out of the African community. As a student of economics, I know that this is something that we have got to be able to teach our people here so they can understand that and let that landscape up to government too, because then they'll do a better job of managing the resources of the country. So it's just my thought for now.
Thank you, sir. And I think one of the most important things that I heard you saying is that we in the community have to be owning and driving the changes in our community health and our food systems, because it's not just enough to have this transformation in our own personal habits, attitudes, and politics, but if we're deciding, hey, I want to eat more healthfully, and you're going out and spending all your money at some multinational food corporation, some big corporate food store, all that money is, Daniel just said, is going out of the community into some far-off corporate headquarters. There are, I'm loving this consciousness. I've seen it in the United States. I saw it in Ghana, and when I was there before coming here, and in Senegal in November when I was there is this movement of people doing exactly what Daniel's talking about, like building business that are feeding communities, gardens, every drop in the bucket that we can have to kind of improve community food systems is going to create the sea change, and we have to be invested in seeking out and supporting those sources, the people who are growing food, the people who have these independent businesses, these artisans, all these people, because without our dollars, they can't thrive. And we have to get away from spending all our money on these corporations that don't value human rights, they don't value labor rights, they don't value the environment. And we know that there's a movement of people who do. And just to finish, I think that one of the most important things you said, Daniel, was we have to be investing in educating the younger generation to know all these things so that they can be a part of this sea change as well. So thank you, Daniel. Okay. Earl.
Good afternoon, everyone. For me, food and wellness aren't just about nourishment. They're about survival. And food, for me, is a memory. My earliest memory of food is my mother baking bread, kneading the dough and baking the bread in these drum pans. I don't know if any of you remember those, but that was one of my earliest memory of food. And when I reflect, I think about these moments, my childhood days, my earlier childhood days when I used to sit around waiting for my mother to knead the bread, put them on tin sheets, as we call them, and put them in the tin oven. This oven was an outside oven that we use. And I didn't just become a farmer when I joined Helen Daughters. I was always a farmer. From my childhood, we always had a little backyard garden. My father always prepared a bed for each one of us where we grow our herbs, seasoning, tomatoes, peppers. These we sell for ourselves to earn pocket change for candies, for school supplies, and stuff like that. You may have noticed that I have a physical disability. So, for me, I have to do things differently. I cannot do things the traditional way. And my disability has been ever since I was a child. It was not so pronounced then that I had to walk with crutches, but I've always had a physical disability. So I learned to do things creatively, live well creatively. We use traditional herbal medicines and stuff like that. My journey has been shaped by the women in my life. My mother, my grandparents, they taught us to use the traditional bush, or we call them herbal medicine now, and to access fresh food and vegetables from the land. Thank you.
Thank you, Beryl. Two things I want to highlight in your response is, one, we need to be mindful of gender when we're thinking about these issues. Many international agricultural organizations talk about if we are going to, and I'm just talking about in Africa, where we've seen like hunger and food insecurity issues, running amok. And there's a level of clarity that the people who are going to be the backbone, who have been the backbone of agricultural food systems, are smallholder farmer women. And we need to be figuring out ways to allocate funding and support these women. And I think equally important, we have to create space for differently able people. We know that structurally, so often, differently able people in our society are pushed to the margins. How can we have an inclusive tent that not only brings people in, but looks to them for leadership? If we want to think about how do we address all these systems of oppression, we need to look at the people who are mostly oppressed, because these are the people who have the innovative solutions and ideas to help us get towards the liberation. So thank you so much, Beryl, for the work that you do in your comments. So we have about 13 minutes, but I have created a number of questions, and the categories that I have been kind of thinking about when I had this panel: foodways and cultural knowledge, health and wellness, sustainability and land, and vision and action. And I'm hoping that we can get through these 4 categories and then maybe have a little time for Q&A. So I want to just start by asking if you guys could maybe give a 1-minute answer to this very succinctly. What's one ancestral or traditional food practice that you think we need to revive and protect? And we can do this popcorn style. No need to go around in order.
Traditional practice will be going back to our kitchen gardens. That's a big thing that I think we're getting more aware of it now due to COVID and having to not rely on outside to get food. We're a remote island. Most of our food comes from the U.S., so it has been a big trend now for us to start, planting food and not just plants and flowers and that kind of stuff. We need to go back to, just the basic stuff. Even just kitchen garden, whether it's tomatoes, cucumbers, the basic stuff. And then you could probably buy, obviously, your protein if you don't want to go into that kind of farming. But if you can have farmers here doing more organic meats. But the thing here is that when we do, our farmers here before our meats, they're just running wild. And then when you buy local proteins, it is a bit tough. So if we could get farmers that can actually have a nice organic product that is not tough, it balances out not only the aspect of the local vegetables and food, but actually the protein as well. So then we wouldn't have to rely, if we can be sustainable, that's fine. I don't think we can be, but at least it's a start. But we just need to, I think the farmers and local farmers need to come together and decide, okay, this is what we're going to do. Because I know one of the challenges when it was at Four Seasons, I had a chef and he wanted to buy as much local produce as he could. But the problem is that you have 10 farmers and all 10 farmers are planting the same crops at the same time. So you're flooding the market with tomatoes in maybe May, and then come June, July, you don't have any tomatoes because everybody's trying to see how much of their tomatoes they can get sold at Four Seasons or the hotels. So if the farmers could come together and decide, okay, this is what we're going to do, and have a rotation, everybody can eat. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. But if everybody is doing the same pie, at some point, you're going to get so saturated with that pie, nobody's going to want the pie. So then we're still relying on the outside market to sustain us with food. But I think we need to come together and decide, okay, this is how we're going to go about farming. This is how we're going to work together as a community. Nevis is not that big, so it means that we need to come together and make it work. Because, for example, if something happens to the U.S. and we can't get any food, no food is coming in. And we see on Mondays and Tuesdays when we go to Rams or Best Buy or Value Mart, if those containers are delayed due to hurricane or whatever else, there's nothing here. And the local markets the local produce can't sustain the whole island. So I think it's something that we need to look at as a people, as an island. We need to come together and decide how are we going to fix this food problem.
I think what we need to do is to go back to planting fruit trees rather than what we are seeing right now, having lawns. What I see happening in Nevis from between when I was a child and now is that people have decided that it's fashionable to bulldoze everything, all of the fruit trees that were there, and some of the indigenous species which perform better under varying conditions like hurricane and different stuff like the sugar apple that we had. The indigenous people are going and want to say they want to bring import from Florida or something, but that is totally different to the natural gene bank that we had of the almonds, of the avocados, of those sorts of things that we had here. I think that That's what I would like to say. The one single thing is to see people cease and desist from denuding the country, with, those tamarind and guinea and, 40 different types of mangoes, and want to just zoom into some hybrids that someone got from someplace, and then you end up having diseases, and then you have none of it.
Okay. For me, it's preserving and sun-drying our fruits. Most of our fruits are seasonal. Take, for instance, mango. Mango come in abundance, and then it's gone. So we need to preserve these fruits for when they're out of season. We can sun-dry them. Well, nowadays people use dehydrators, but back then our grandparents sun-dried these fruits on the top of the roof on a sheet, and we need to bring back those practices so that we can have fruits or different kind of food out of season as well as in season.
Okay, so for me, I do agree with the food preservation. That was one of my answers. But we also, in terms of minimally processed foods, perhaps we can move back to, instead of adding so many additives, we tend to use a lot of imported seasonings. We tend to use a lot of sugars when it comes to meal preparation. And that is a part of why we do have such a high prevalence of non-communicable diseases. And so for me, I would encourage persons to go back to the times where we use our backyard seasonings. So use your herbs, use your thyme, use your onions. If you can grow your rosemaries or even your basils and so forth. Use your backyard seasonings. Rely more so on those to add flavor to your food instead of using the additives, salt additives, and seasonings.
Thank you. I feel like this conversation has been so rich and meaningful already. You guys agree with that? Yes. So I know that Chef Allison needs to leave soon, and I want to ensure that we capture her knowledge in this conversation as well. So if it's okay with everyone, I'd like to just transition into the Q&A part of this, because I'm sure there are burning questions that many of you have. So we have a mic here. If you have a question, we have someone who could bring the mic to you. And then feel free to pose a question to any of our panelists here and take advantage of the well of knowledge that they have. So if you could raise your hand, the mic will be brought to you and you can ask your question. Anyone? You've got to be kidding me. I'm seeing all the wheels turning in your heads. I know there are some questions, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. See, don't be scared.
Just takes one.
Yeah.
I think it might be important for the live streaming of it for you to use the mic. So. Here, you can use my mic. How about that?
So good morning, everyone, the panelists. I'm really thoroughly enjoying the conversation. So as someone who maybe, so this is for nutrition, so anyone who may be pre-diabetic, who loves mangoes, right, and can sit and eat 10 at a time. Yeah. I won't say that's me, but it's me. So how can I guess, not become a diabetic, but still eat my I know you said to refrain from eating as many, but what if you can't do that? What are some other things that you can do to kind of curb that sugar level, to rise?
Thank you for the question. Well, I guess it depends on the individual and how many mangoes that person actually eats, right? But in terms of the recommendation, typically somebody who has been diagnosed with diabetes, we tend to tell them to limit to a serving, right? But the thing is, a serving of mango is about one small mango or a half of a mango. But that may be difficult for some persons to do. So what we encourage you to do, instead of going cold turkey, you have to put things in place that may allow you to cut back gradually over time, right? And there are also strategies where, for example, let's say you wake up in the morning, you're accustomed to eating 3 mangoes in the morning. And so 6 mangoes. but of course, I would encourage you, instead of the 6, how about we start with 3? You could cut back to 3 instead. And you do have to be mindful of your goals, right? And what your targets are. And the goal, of course, is to prevent your blood sugar from spiking, right? And so that may mean instead of enjoying the 6, you might only be limited to 3. Maybe you may be limited to 2. But then you also have to consider what might you have to sacrifice in that breakfast that may allow you to be able to eat the 3 mangoes. So for example, if you're accustomed to eating, let's say, a yogurt, you're accustomed to eating porridge with milk, you're accustomed to drinking milk tea, perhaps you might have to sacrifice that milk in your tea. Perhaps you need to focus more so on herbal tea. Perhaps you need to sacrifice the milk in your porridge, or perhaps you need to sacrifice that yogurt or, the bread instead of bread. Perhaps you may focus more so on a salad. And then you could be able to have, let's say, typically for women, we may recommend about 3 to 4 choices of carbs. So maybe your 3 to 4 choices. While I wouldn't recommend for you to eat the 3 mangoes, if that's something that you want to do, you have to be willing to sacrifice the other carbohydrates in that meal.
And let me just ask you a follow-up question, just in terms of just thinking about the kind of Western breakfast that often is very high in like carbs and sugars. Yeah. Might we just consider kind of shifting when we eat the fruit, maybe like later in like the afternoon, like, how we might enjoy an afternoon tea after you've had like a higher protein breakfast or a lunch, instead of like eating a sweet or carby thing first thing in the morning.
Yeah, and you can also do that. That's also in terms of the recommendation of a salad or something. Instead of it being, carbohydrate heavy or eating, bread or something, you could also consider perhaps a carb that has more fiber in it, that isn't so rich in added sugars and so forth. And the timing of your meals are very, very, very important as well. So, and it depends, as I mentioned, on the individual. So certain things may spike your blood sugar. Maybe a Coke may spike your blood sugar. For another person, a Coke might not spike their blood sugar. So it's based on the individual.
One other thing you could do too is you could just drink lots of water. So you could do, whether it's lemon juice, you could do apple cider vinegar, a few drops in the water throughout the day to help flush some of that sugar out of your system. And then if you eat the rest of the day, you just use more protein, reduce the carbs, and have the protein and vegetables or a salad instead of having any more carbs to help flush out that. And then before you go to bed, there's stuff like the dietitian was saying, you just use natural stuff. So you could use cinnamon sticks. So if you make cinnamon stick, you steep it in hot water, you can drink that before you go to bed. Cloves is another natural substitute you can use. Clove water, those are stuff that you can use to help flush out some of that sugar and help regulate. So if you're taking your blood sugar level the next morning, it's supposed to help, bring it back onto a decent level.
Thank you, Chef. I think we had a question over here, then right here.
Thank you. Great conversation so far, very informative. I want to ask, how impactful are the preservative foods that we would buy, that you've spoken about, the herbs and the seasonings, how impactful are they versus the natural way we grow them on allergies? People who have food allergies, what's the difference? Like, do you find that the manufacture or the preserved additives are more impactful? How can somebody who has allergies, eat interestingly, but healthily and safely?
So in terms of the preservatives or the additives within foods, of course, certain manufacturers, depending on their manufacturing plant, you may have to be consider or be mindful of how exactly that food was prepared. Of course, you don't necessarily know. They're supposed to list on the label if it's an allergen, or if it was produced in a manufacturing plant with a certain allergen. But there are certain additives that are in food that helps to preserve and extend the shelf life. And some persons, of course, they are sensitive to certain additives. So in that case, I would recommend for persons who do suffer from allergies, I would encourage them to eat as natural as possible if they are able to, right? It's just for you to be very mindful that certain additives, they can trigger someone's intolerance or their allergies. And of course, just be very mindful. And if you decide that you would want to eat more natural, I would encourage you to eat more natural, right? Because they do trigger certain persons' allergies, right?
Thank you, Jimmy.
Hello, this is a fabulous panel. Thank you all. Some familiar faces, some less familiar. My husband has been here for 60 years. I've been here since 1980. We love Nevis. Question for you. There's so many, we were here during the pandemic. Food became difficult. People had to stay in their homes. Would have been great to have small gardens, but that just wasn't the usual case. What I'm wondering is, can we all band together, have the government be more involved in highlighting, for example, all the wonderful vegetable stands that are throughout Nevis with really fresh, wonderful vegetables? Can we have more highlighting of some of these small businesses that have delicious, relatively additive-free food? I'm not so much talking about the great fried chicken and whatnot, but wonderful rotis, wonderful plate lunches. I started something right after the pandemic on Facebook called #Alice Eats, because the local small places were having trouble, and only the local, the next door neighbors knew about them, but not widely known. People don't talk so much about great food places that are healthy and whatever. Is there some way we can get more of that information out to the general public so people will go to these small local businesses and really try the foods? They're healthy, they're organic, and give the locals, as Daniel says, give the locals the business so it's not just going out to the big companies, but also help each other and eat healthier and, frankly, delicious food.
Who wants to tackle that?
I think you're speaking to something that has got different dimensions. You have to have, when you see all of those stands throughout the country, you must understand there is a supply chain. They must come from someplace. If it was imported, then that doesn't really totally solve the real problem. It solves the fact that someone can go and purchase it. But my focus would be on having that consciousness and that sensitivity to persons who are local to, have that, see that as a natural progression in the way they did things. When I grew up as a child, what happened is that every household had an animal, whether it was a bird or a fowl, a pig, or cattle or sheep or something, and another person had something else. So what you're saying is that you made the point about government doing that. Right now, government cannot take any more. I do not think that we should look to government to do any of these things in agriculture. I think it's something that private individuals, what should happen like in places like in the Asian countries where you have pioneer status given to people who innovate when it comes to whether it's coconut production or whatever, they're given pioneer status. So if someone is a good farmer, a lot of people will complain and say they're getting a lot of this. But that wasn't the case when Wally Wade, in this very same space where we are here, all of this was coconut trees when I was 7 years old. And then as the trees got older, senescence meant that they died. And no matter how strong you are, when you get older, you die. What should have happened was a reforestation. What we're saying is that there must be a natural progression and, something to continue. So what needs to happen is that there must be an integration. There must be the competence within the agriculture department to be able to train people and to encourage other people who want to get into agriculture. Because if you don't have the competence, you cannot tell people how to plant. You can't tell them when to plant and the sorts of things and in the quantities that are required. So I think that those are the things that are critically important. There need to be a healthy mix between public and private sector so as to get this thing happen. That would be my answer.
Well, another option you can do too is, like she said, she has a hashtag Alice Eat. You could probably put it out there that persons can come on and post if they're knowledgeable about somewhere that you're describing. They can actually use that as a platform to post stuff. So it's not just limited to you maybe posting stuff, or maybe you're hearing that maybe Pam is telling you about somewhere and then you post it. It can be an open setup where I can go in and say, oh, hey, I went to Sunshine's and he has an awesome whatever the case is. So if there's another option as well where you open up the platform that you can have persons go in and actually share their experience or share something that they know about the island. Because there's a lot of places here that does food and you don't know that they're doing food because you see these listings for restaurants and you're like, okay, where's this? I've never heard of it before, So if it's something that you're willing to have somebody reach out to you or open it up that you can go on and post, then I think you would get more information that way. Because then a lot of people here eat out. And I think they know about more stuff or more restaurants or places that you can, get stuff available, the fruit stands and that kind of stuff. They can just post randomly so it's open to everyone to see. I don't know if that helps.
So, Allison, I'm hoping we can keep you here, Chef, for just one more question before you leave. Just one more, okay. I just want to go back to what Daniel was saying and kind of connect it to your question. I think one thing that I'm hearing, and I just want to gently push back, I think it's clear that governments are often inept, oftentimes corrupt, often inefficient, but as taxpayers, they should be beholden to us. And we should be pushing them to do the things that are required for our better health and well-being. So I do want to say that. But to Daniel's point, we need all stakeholders at the table. In order to see a sea change, we need government, we need private industry, we need faith institutions, we need civic organizations. We all have to come together with a vision of how we want the future of this island, the wider Caribbean, the wider diaspora to develop in a way that's healthful and sustainable. That being said, it all starts with the individual. It all starts with this kind of internal revolution and transformation and a shift in our own habits and attitudes and politics regarding food systems, health, agriculture. So the question that I want to pose to everyone before we wrap up, and I thank you all for your patience, is this. If each of you could succinctly tell us what is one small action that each of us can take to live more healthfully and sustainably, starting today, starting right now, for everyone in here, for everyone out in the audience, in the world, what's one thing that we can do as an individual? And feel free to do it popcorn style, whoever wants to jump in.
I think we need to be not only more health conscious, we need to eat clean. We're not eating clean. We think that we're eating clean, but we're not eating clean because, okay, you're buying a chicken that is imported. Chicken is filled with, and I'm just using chicken at random. We're seeing now that they're putting all these chemicals inside chicken. So the chicken is not healthy. We may think we're eating healthy because we may bake it instead of frying it. We may steam it instead of frying it. So we're taking out the oil, but what is actually in the chicken itself? Because we all know, even if you buy chicken breasts, which is supposed to be lean and healthy, sometimes those same chicken breasts are so filled with like when you call it toxins. The chicken is tough. Don't care how you cook the chicken is tough. It's like rubber. So you're not putting all the preservatives in it. You're probably using your stuff from your kitchen garden or your healthy, clean seasonings. By the end of the day, you're not really making a difference because the chicken already has whatever is in it already injected in it. So when you cook it, it's still there. So we need to eat clean. We need to go back to raising our own chickens or demanding that we get more organic protein because that's the problem. Now you're talking about you're doing man-made steaks. How are we doing man-made steaks? Steak comes from cows. So how are we doing a steak in a lab? That makes no sense to me. So if you're talking about eating, how are we going to, moving forward, we need to start with the product itself. The product needs to be clean. No toxins, no injections, no nothing inside that meat. It needs to be organic. If it means we have to hold farmers accountable and having them when they're packaging and processing or whatever the case is, to state whether this chicken or pig has had any injections or anything, then we need to, like the chef said, we need to start holding them accountable. But if you're going to tell me you want to eat clean, but then we're buying our proteins from the U.S. or wherever, and it's filled with all these chemicals, then we're not eating clean. So we need to start there. That's the basic.
For me, I would say it's kind of easy to tell persons to eat clean. But to actually eat clean and to be healthy is very hard, right? So I think we all need to support each other. We all need to be able to support each other as a community. And it may start with, what can I do if I'm a parent? What could I do in terms of raising my child, in terms of the types of foods that they take to school, in terms of modeling healthy behaviors at home? What could I do as a parent? In terms of the government, what could I do to make it, or these produce, more affordable for people, even if we do have to rely on importation, which can be very expensive? What could I do as a government to make these foods more affordable, or subsidizing the cost of these foods? What could I do as a teacher? What could I model in the classroom to be able to ensure that a young child grows up with healthy habits and healthy behaviors? What could I do in, let's say, the health promotion unit to be able to educate and raise awareness of these issues within our community? Because sometimes persons simply don't know where to start. And perhaps we could do more in terms of being able to raise awareness to persons in the community. What could I do as a church to be able to support, someone else in church? So I think we have to stop operating in silos, even in terms of ministries, how we could all work together in order to ensure that people are able to live well and be healthy. Because sometimes it's not so easy to just say, just start eating healthy and live healthy. We need support as a community.
I totally support that perspective. Where persons with their areas of competence, I think what they should do is to expand and become more supportive of the Sonum Bonum, the greater good, And I think that, for example, persons who are good farmers, that, you get them to become bigger and better farmers so as to make sure the good things that they're doing just cover a wider space. And then what would happen is that that's an efficiency. And then if you multiply that as per your fundamentals, which you speak about, I think that's what's going to do the job. Because that's where I grew up as a child here in Nevis. 60 years ago, it was like that. I mean, it was in 1970 that people in Nevis started bringing a lot of stuff from overseas. In 1970, there was a disaster, and a boat went down, and 192 people died. But a lot of them were people from Nevis Nevis was the breadbasket, St. Kitts was growing sugarcane, Nevis had cotton, and all of the food you can imagine. We exported everything from this country: crabs, donkey, monkey, pigs, breadfruit, coconut, copra, cooking oil, coconut oil, anything that you can think about was food. And we had so much meat here. We had 4 butchers going to St. Kitts every Thursday with boxes and boxes of meat, selling it over there. Our fishermen we had fishermen from a part of Nevis sold fish in Nevis. And then fishermen from a certain part of Nevis, they just went straight to St. Kitts and sold fish in St. Kitts. It was a totally different thing. I mean, we were selling to neighboring islands, St. Thomas, because a lot of our people had migrated to get, better opportunities. And so that was what was happening. And if we can do that, we can get back to that place. What we have done now is a lot of backward work and a lot of people getting away from fundamentals. But if we get back to that, my brother, I think we're going to be in a good place again. That's why I'm trying. I'm brightening the corner where I am.
What I would say is that we should keep our traditions alive, know where we came from, so that we know where we are and where we are going. Okay, we need to know what we eat. We should eat what we grow, and we should know what is in the foods that we are eating. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Listen, the people up here are national treasures. Consider them resources, and they are the kind of connectors of many more resources on this island and beyond. So before we wrap up, can each person let the audience know where they can find you, website, social media, how they can be in touch, how they could follow your work, and continue to support you and see you and use you as a resource as well?
I can be found on Facebook or Instagram, whether it's Chef Alicat or Willow Mason. I have a small cafe at the hot springs, and try to have it more as clean as possible and healthy. It's supposed to tie in with the health and wellness of the hot springs. So all the food there is freshly prepared. The pastries, the sugars are reduced so they're not sweet. So they're all natural stuff. I've replaced items in my recipes to make it more healthy, more interesting. So if I make a banana bread, it will have like chia seeds or flax seeds inside. And then you have fresh pieces of bananas is inside there. Oats is on top, and maybe a little crumb on the topping. Just to make it interesting. So it's not a traditional banana bread. So I make a spin on it, coconut drops. I have cranberries in there. I have some orange zest. I have white chocolate chips. Just make it, it's not a Bajan dish, but it's something that I like. And I just put a spin on it. And I do Bajan coconut bread, but I do them in a muffin form. Sugar is reduced, that you can have your little treat and not feel guilty. So that's what we try to promote at the Springs. So it's the Spring Cafe. As you enter the hot springs, it's a brown structure on the right-hand side. We do local juices, so all natural local stuff, hibiscus, tamarind, gooseberry, cherry, what have you. Palm is one of my regulars. We use parfaits, so it's Greek yogurt and not the other one. So we use Greek yogurt, and then I play with it so we can have chia seeds inside. Now it's mango season. I blend mango in it, so you have a nice mango yogurt. And we change up the granola and various fresh fruits and berries as toppings, whether it's hazelnut. We put some hazelnuts on it sometimes, some pumpkin seeds, and, mix it up, have it interesting. And we always garnish it with an organic mix. So it's a nice little breakfast. If you want to have something for breakfast, it's quite filling and it's healthy. We do a pumpkin sweet potato muffin. It was a pumpkin muffin, but I put sweet potato in it to help reduce the sugars, balance it out, make it a bit hearty. So if you want to visit the Springs, I'm there. And then I do pop-ups every now and again with sushi and different stuff. But we always try to offer a vegetarian option as well. So I try to cater for everyone.
Who's planning to go to Spring Cafe this afternoon? Okay. I'll see y'all there, because I'm trying to get some of those juices, muffins, and bread. So thank you, Chef Allison.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm located at the Nevis Health Promotion Unit. That's the Recalocane buildings, the corner of Juice Street, Charlestown, Nevis. That's the same building where you go to renew your food handler's permit. And we do offer dietary services, nutrition counseling for persons, of course, free of cost. If you are interested in seeking nutrition advice, of course, feel free to call and ask for me, Janicia Pemberton, the registered dietitian and nutrition officer. Our contact number is 469-5521, or you could do 469-8010. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody knows that my farm is over going on the road going up to Westbury. It's Nevis Hydro Gardens. And you're welcome to come. We're open in the morning, 7 till about 1. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are the best times for people to come, because the other days we were busy doing other things. And like I've said, come and see what we've got. And you can get our stuff in the supermarkets, the lettuce and all of that.
Okay. The Garden of Grace is located in Bath Village, and you can get eggs, your local eggs. And when I'm talking local, I'm talking about what we term yard fowl eggs, free range, as well as the brown eggs. You can also get fresh pineapples, papayas, different fruits, your leafy greens, herbs, etc. You can follow me on Facebook, Beryl Seaton, Instagram, Beryl Seaton. You can also view my TV on YouTube, Beryl Seaton TV, where I showcase the work I do as a farmer, or the Garden of Grace official TV, where I showcase the work that I do as a farmer. Because like I said earlier, I am not the traditional farmer. I cannot walk around and pull weeds and hoe. So I use different methods to do my farming. So if you want to see or know how I farm, please log on to Beryl Seaton TV, where you'll find me.
Listen, let's give all these panelists their flowers and a rousing round of applause. Okay. I want to thank the Mango Festival's vision for understanding the importance of folding in an educational component such as this. And now we go have fun. We eat mangoes. We throw mango pits at each other. We just about to get into it. So thank you all for coming. And we're going to have Mr. Fayon Jones wrap us up really quickly.
All right. I thank you guys very much. Another round of applause for the lovely panelists. You guys did a very good job. I think I've learned a lot today. And I think the crowd will agree that they have also learned a lot today. I want to, in closing, say that we have Valerie Demassou, who is the Commissioner of Tourism from St. Martin's. So I just want to acknowledge her presence. So it really ties in to what we said earlier in relation to tourism. And interesting fact, she may not know this, but I remember her from one time in New York. I think we were at CTO. Oh, you're laughing because you remember. I think she made a comment about, you know, St. Martin being the culinary capital of the Caribbean, something like that. And I'm not certain if she heard the challenge, because I would have issued a challenge to, I guess, a mutual friend. I think I told her, well, come Nevis and we'll see. We will test that theory. So she's here, so thank you very much for coming, and we will definitely test that theory this weekend. All right? But in closing, I just want to say thank you guys very much for coming out to the opening of the Nevis Mango Festival. It is going to be a great weekend, and I can't wait. Thank you very much.
You with shake, shake, shake the mango tree. Mango yellow, mango green. One for you and one for me. Shake, shake, shake the mango tree. Hey, have a good day, y'all.
Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here. Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and
All right, so good morning again. My name is Fayon Jones, the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Nevis Tourism Authority. And we just had a great successful launch of the 11th edition of the Nevis Mango Festival. And I must say I am pleased and happy as we have here the Commissioner of Tourism in St. Martin, Miss Valerie Damasu. Miss Damasu, how are you?
I'm wonderful, thanks. And yourself? Pleasure to be here.
I am quite amazing. Now, what is it? How is it thus far? You've had the opening, you had a good, engaging panel discussion. How has the morning been thus far?
I must admit, I got in last night and we're staying at this beautiful, beautiful resort and it's wonderful. So, Nevisians, if that's the way you call yourself, very, very friendly and open. I came this morning to the panel, which was very, very good as well, because it gives you an insight on balance, eating balance and healthy eating and other methods and where it is essential to have a cross-border, I will say, or cross-governance between the communities and so forth in order to reach that goal. So far so good, but I know that you're holding me for the reason for which I'm here, because I made the statement that St. Martin is the culinary capital of the Caribbean. And you invited me to Mango Fest. So I'm here right now.
I see what you did there. You jumped up before I said it. That's okay. That's okay. I will admit that I did issue a challenge. We have a mutual friend, and I guess the word got back to her, and she's now here to test and see if we are going to beat St. Martin when it comes to being the culinary capital of the Caribbean. I think Nevis has a good chance. What says you, crowd? Ah, you see? So I'm sure you'd have had a chance to view the overall calendar and the activities. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to?
So one thing was the discussion this morning, which is rare. People hear about a festival and they come just to eat and continue. But it is good to have an educational part to it so you can learn and move on from there. But also I got myself all the passes that you have. So I'm even doing this bus tour, I think. I didn't do the ferry. I don't like the sea too much. But I'm going to be doing the bus tour. I've took the 20 samples of mangoes and so forth, because you know I have to taste them all. I must admit I'm a mango lover, so I definitely have to see that. And yeah, I did the private dinners as well, and I took everything. So I leave on Monday.
Yes, you're going to leave on Monday, and you're going to be fully convinced that Nevis is the capital as it relates to culinary. Now, I just want to say thank you very much for coming all the way to our beautiful island, Nevis. I know in conversation we spoke about collaborating more and, with the culture, the food. Do you think that's something you want to touch on? You see some future collaborations coming?
Yes, all jokes aside, I mean that since I was here last night, I have been eating pretty well, honestly. But more fundamental is how we as different territories can collaborate. And I've said it numerous times. I definitely believe in cultural exchanges, whether it's on the food level, but also on music. And I definitely look forward to sending and extending the invitation, which we did as well, to have during our culinary festival that is in November, that you're able to send down a chef. And it's not about who's better or not, but how do we stand firm on the strength that we have in this region. And I'm just 35 minutes away. And again, we don't see enough of each other, we don't cherish enough of each other, and we do not transfer our savoir-faire. How can we cater to one another? How can we capitalize on what works in this region? So as Commissioner of Tourism and Culture, I've placed culture at the heart of every event that we're doing, every manifestation, every activation, and it's only normal that 35 minutes away from each other, we collaborate more. So I'm looking forward. I had a chance to speak to your Prime Minister as well, briefly at CTO. I work very closely with the Minister of Tourism in St. Kitts, and within the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the 25 plus countries that are there, we're busy fostering a better and stronger collaboration within the region. So again, the way to go is by exchanging, cultural exchanges, and let us put our money where our mouth is with how much this region has in strength.
Thank you very much. Before I leave, I must say that our Premier does also extend his regards to you. He could not have been here today, but I'm sure you will see him throughout the course of the Mango Festival. I didn't hear you. What you said there?
I'm a Kittian first, and my mother from Newton Ground, St. Kitts.
Oh, look at that. One of the things I'm going to tell you, even though you are a Kittitian, when it comes to this licking you're going to get this weekend, you're still going to get it. But again, thank you. And I just want to say I hope that you have a great weekend. And yes, so in closing, I just want to say we have here the Commissioner of Tourism from St. Martin, Ms. Valerie Demasu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I have someone else here who wants to interview. Lovely. Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
What is your name, my dear?
My name is Amy. I'm from the States.
Which part of the States are you from?
Jersey. Woo!
Jersey in the house. Okay, that's good. So if you want to just give us real quick, what connection did you take to get here?
Say that one more time.
One connection, the flight. Did you jump on? Did you come through JFK or?
Yeah, we came through JFK.
JetBlue, I'm assuming? Okay, so that must have been a great experience, but we're very happy to have you. So what drew you to come to Nevis? Do you have anything in particular in relation to the festival?
Mangoes, baby!
I just want to let you know we have over 44 different varieties of mangoes, and I'm really hoping that you had a great engaging time this morning. What do you think that you're most looking forward to in relation to the lineup of events?
We're really excited, my husband and I, to do the cooking class tomorrow morning, and probably to see the different varieties of mangoes, to sample them, to actually see the different tastes and textures of them all.
Oh, wow. I think you've came to the right place. Yes, we have a lot of mangoes. So it's one thing I would love for you to do once you have a great weekend. I want you to tell your friends, your family, and everyone you know that when you came to Nevis, you had a great time, you ate mangoes, and you want to go back. Can you do that for me?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Jersey in the house. Do we have any more interviews? Do we have? I see I have our starliner, our header. Do I need to say? Do I need to say the artist name? Miss Abena Amri. Hi, how are you?
Good. Excited to be here again.
It's always good to have you here.
Yes, and it's always good to be here.
I just want to say congratulations are in order. I understand. Well, not understand. I saw you. You were just recently on the music festival stage. How was that experience?
Wow, it was awesome. It was amazing. It was overwhelming, but it was great, especially to look out into the crowd and see my Nevis people who came out to support me. It was great, and to share the stage with such big artists, Jennifer Hudson, Romain Virgo, Christopher Martin, and, it was just awesome.
You did very well, and I'm sure my cheer would agree when I say this. Last year you were here for Mango Festival, and then you were on a music festival the year after. Do you feel your performance at the Mango Festival had a heavy influence on you being at the music festival the year after? Just a thought.
A thought? Well, I can't say for sure, but I think it maybe. Let's say maybe.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble with anyone. We will believe what we want to believe, but I think we're very excited to see you again this year. I know you bring the vibe and the energy. Is there any event in particular that you're looking forward to? Outside of performing, of course.
Oh, wow. I'm looking forward to all of the events. I plan to be there and take part in every single one. Maybe the tour this year. Yeah, the passport food tour, because I'm a foodie, so I'm hoping to find food that I can eat with all the mangoes in them. So, yeah, I think that would be it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, our headliner, Abena Amri, and do have a great Mango Festival. We can't wait to hear from you.
I will definitely have one.
Thank you. We have a next interview. How are you?
Hello. Very well, thank you, and very excited to be here.
Thank you. Okay, so you've traveled, you live here, you tell me.
I came here in 1980 because my now husband he came here in 1965. His mother and stepfather came to Nevis for their honeymoon and fell in love with Nevis in 1962. So they stayed at Nisbet Plantation. They fell in love with the place, so they bought a property in 1965. And Tom Shortall, my husband, started coming here. He was in prep school. And I started coming when I was dating him in 1980. And so we maintain a home here. We've been here since, he's been here since 65 back and forth. And we love it here. And we're very excited about what's happening with the food industry, because Nevis has always had fabulous little restaurants, wonderful food, and I am a real foodie. I love good food, I cook food, and really felt that there was so much that Nevis had to offer. So we were here during the pandemic, and I noticed that people were really suffering, the small businesses, because they couldn't really sell their food. And many of the expatriates here go to the fancy restaurants, but they tend not to go to the local ones because they didn't really know enough about them. They were a little nervous about it. So I started something on Nevis Nice called hashtag Alice Eats, because my name is Alice Young. And I started going to the various small local places for only plate lunch, only lunchtime, and it had to be 25 EC or under, which at the time was possible. Now prices have gone up, so now my criteria is 35 EC and under.
But what I do is I review the food. If it's great food, I describe what's delicious, what's wonderful, and I try to encourage, I tell people exactly where it is, because in Nevis, there are not too many road signs, so it's hard to find places. Local places are kind of hidden away, right? But I tell them where it is. I tell them, if there's a bathroom, whether it's better to take out or eat there because it's a nice environment. If it's a Rasta place, I say, well, maybe you want to bring salt if you like to salt your food because it doesn't have it. But so it's now a pretty big following of people who are now willing to try these small local places. So I'm very excited about the Mango Festival. I love mangoes. Don't get as many as I would like because of the population that tends to take it over, eat them before they're ripe. But I'm very excited to be here to attend a number of the events.
Thank you very much. Thank you. May I have Miss Shalicia Glassford? Miss Shalicia Glassford. Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I am wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
Let me start over again. Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I am wonderful. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I am quite amazing. So you are the new director of VIP and My Services at the Nevis Tourism Authority.
That is correct. Just 3 days old.
Okay, so this is your first official Nevis Mango Festival. You have been in the office. You see a bit of the chaos. How is it going thus far?
It is absolutely epic. But I must say it's also very, very exciting. It's really great to come on board at this time just to see all the hard work that goes into the behind the scenes. And for anyone that has not yet purchased their ticket, this is definitely something you do not want to miss.
On point to the marketing already. I love it. Okay, is there any event in particular from the lineup that you're looking forward to?
I think naturally most persons are looking forward to the big event on Sunday. I think that's a very great family-friendly event. You have persons, you don't have to be a specific age to come to this event. You can be old, you could be not so old, you could be very, very young. You can bring your entire family. So definitely I think the For the Love of Mangoes event is the big, big event that everyone should be at. And it's an all-day thing. And Nevis on a Sunday, why not? Where else would you rather be on a Sunday or Nevis? So I think that's going to be absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Director. I wish you all the success in your new role. I know you do a good job.
Thank you. I'm definitely excited about this opportunity, and I look forward to more events in the future.
Thank you. Who I see, Chef Brian Terry coming my way. Sir, congratulations. I think you did a wonderful job, not only in the opening, but also the panel discussion. How are you today?
I am doing well. This is my first time in Nevis. It's been, if I was telling Pam that if this is the start, I could go home now. This was so rich and fruitful that I could leave and go back and feel full. And we're just getting started. So I'm excited about the coming days, the master class that I'll be teaching tomorrow, the amazing dinner that we're having at Golden Rock, and just meeting new people. Just this morning, I've met so many wonderful and amazing Nevisians, and just, connecting and building relationships, because undoubtedly this is not my first time. This is not my last time being in Nevis. I will be back. And I want to thank Pam, you, Julie, for really creating the conditions for me to come here and have an amazing visit. So thank you.
I think you're going to do very well. As a matter of fact, I myself am not plant-based, but I think you have convinced me to definitely be plant-based. Even if it's for this weekend only, I'm coming on board. I must say that the information that you and your fellow panelists would have shared during the panel discussion was very informative. Is there one final thing you want to say to really bring it home from the panel discussion? Do you want to tell everyone, about healthy living, lifestyle? What do you want the last message to be?
If there was one message that I could leave that kind of summarizes what we discussed on the panel, it's about relationships, it's about community. These are the things that we should lean into and rely upon in our toughest moments. As we are kind of hurtling towards collapse on many fronts, it's vitally important that we build community, we connect with the people who are around us, family, friends, our kind of like formal and informal kinship networks, and that's what's going to get us through.
Thank you, Chef Brian Terry. You have a great weekend, okay? I now want to have the chair of Nevis Tourism Authority, Miss Pam Martin, just for a quick interview. Lady Martin, may we have you for a quick interview? Miss Pamela Martin, the chair of the Nevis Tourism Authority. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. I am wonderful, thank you.
Now, you've been here for the opening, you've been here for the panel discussion, and as I said, you're the chair, so I know that you see and you do a lot of things behind the scenes to ensure that we have success. How was it this morning?
Well, I am delighted this morning. We got off to a great start this morning with the opening. Our sponsors came out and showed their support. We had great coverage here from the media and extra, audience members, and so, yeah, the opening has been fantastic. Of course, I love the panel discussion. The vegan Chef Brian, has been amazing. All the other panelists gave great information, valuable information, and I love what the chef said about building community, working together, food, enjoying the food, but also being mindful when we eat.
Very good. Now, you also serve on the steering committee for the Nevis Mango Festival. Do you want to give a bit of insight to how it's been? How was the journey to get to Mango Festival 2025? And I just want to put in a quick plug that this journey started since last year. So can you give us a little bit of behind the scenes? How has it been?
The journey has been actually incredible. Being on the steering committee, coming after last year and the great success we had in 24, and trying to come up with ways to top it, trying to come up with ways to make it a greater experience for the patrons that come. So it's been a great experience, lots of meetings, lots of discussions, lots of back and forth, but at the end of the day, we always leave the table and we agreed and we move forward as a unit, and I think the proof this morning of that unified body has been proven.
Thank you very much. The chair of the Nevis Tourism Authority, Ms. Pamela Martin. Job well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Continue to do a great job you're doing.
Thank you. I would like to call our next guest, and this is our consultant, Mr. Noah Mills from Sen Consultant. Now, before I go into it, I just want to say, when it comes to this, may I call you young man, he is great when it comes to logistics. I've had the pleasure of working with him for going on 2 years now, and his mind is always turning. So I just want to ask you a few questions. Thus far, how it's been? You're here for the opening. You're very instrumental in the background as well. How has this morning been for you?
It was fantastic. It was educational, and it was fun, an opportunity to socialize with persons who are already coming in from all around the Caribbean. I also heard there's someone here from New Jersey. I met some influencers on Penny's Beach yesterday from London. So you can see it serving as an economic influencer itself, influencing people to come. This morning session, of course, we could have a session where we had the official launch or opening. Then we had the little chat session with the panelists. And of course, we have to mention all of our sponsors, all of our service suppliers. Some of us would have stayed in all night while you were home with your family. Remember, you're talking behind the scenes. Yes, remember I messaged
Remember, I messaged you about 3 o'clock this morning, told you what. Yeah. Told you we were still here with some of the service suppliers, and they were able to wrap up everything and deliver. So I think today was a success.
Okay, that's good. Well, just to give a bit on your background, we know you were former chair for Carnival, and you're now consultant to the Mango Festival. And I want to know, as it relates to the logistics, how do you feel about logistics? Are you comfortable when it comes to logistics for the Mango Festival this year?
You know, there are two gentlemen that I like to mention. The first one is Murphy. And Murphy's law states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And then there's another gentleman by the name of Noah Mills who expanded that. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong at the worst possible time and would cause things related to the first thing to go wrong as well. But that makes it exciting. It makes logistics exciting. It makes making decisions quickly with persons at 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And I see some of my colleagues over there because they knew we had to make such decisions. It's a 4-day festival. It brings economic income to several service suppliers, entrepreneurs here in Nevis. We move it across Nevis. For example, tomorrow we're going to be at Ubrenta, and we're going to have what we call Mango Mania, mango stoning, mango eating, blind taste testing. We have the bartenders competition. Over there we also have the master class. Then we move from there, we go to Pinnis Beach, which is just in the background. And of course, everyone knows that we're at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park as we speak. And then we have some 8 bars down there that we're going to be sampling, some providing mango-infused drinks, some providing mango-infused food, and there's going to be DJ walking with us, so to speak. And we call it sort of a mango walk because the bars are in proximity, maybe what, 2 yards, sometimes 2 feet. Okay, then we take it tomorrow around the island, what we call the passport food tour. And I'm hearing all of the numbers. Each time I ask you something, you're telling me sold out. That has become a behind-the-scenes joke as well. So we are going around the island tomorrow, stopping about at 8 different venues, ending up at the Artisan Village, where the Ministry of Tourism is having the night market there. Those who want to take part of that, the others, you could go on to Golden Rock for the supper club. And then, of course, we come back to culminate everything right back here on the field, where we're going to have about 50 chefs. We're going to have the mango concert. We're going to have all sorts of sampling, folklore, other cultural presentations. And it, like I said, it's a full team, not only my company, but each and every single member from the Nevis Tourism Authority who come together and make it happen.
Mr. Nomils, you gave a lovely overview, but before you go, I want to ask a question. So this is your second year with us, and you have worked mega events, etc. Where do you see the Nevis Mango Festival in, I want to say 5 years?
I may get in trouble for this.
Wait. Hold on now, though. Let's not get into too much trouble today.
I think currently the Nevis Mango Festival is at minimum rivaling what is called the greatest summer festival here in Nevis, which is Culturama. If I dare mention that it has surpassed it, that's where I'll get in trouble, so let me just say rivaling. In terms of St. Kitts and Nevis as a nation, I think it's up there in easily the top 4. We're talking National Carnival, we're talking Music Festival, Culturama, and of course Mango Festival. And it creates many opportunities, not only to market the Federation and Nevis itself, but as I said, economic opportunities for all of the small mom and pop, right up to the mega hotels that we have here.
That's a lovely response. I will tell you right now, we will get in trouble for what you just said. But that's okay. We will deal with that at that point. The last thing I want to say is someone told me that when they see you during Mango Festival, it looks like you come alive again. Is that so, sir?
I'm always alive. I'm always alive, okay? I'm always alive. Thank you very much.
Head Consultant Noah Mills, thank you very much. In closing, I just want to say thank you very much to all of the teams, Nevis Tourism Authority. Thank you to the hardworking staff. We want to say thank you to Consultant Noah Mills and Sen Consultancy. We also want to say thank you to the board, the chair, Madam Pamela Martin. Thank you to the managers, the directors, and everyone involved. But of course, in advance, I want to say thank you to all of the volunteers, the vendors, the chefs, and of course, the sponsors and the patrons. All of you all make Nevis Mango Festival very special. And I do hope to see you throughout the course of this weekend. Thank you very much. And let us continue to celebrate Nevis and all of what we have to offer. Thank you. Nevis naturally, Nevis lovely. Thank you.
Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City.
Take a walk on some nice cool sand, drink some jelly water or a killer bee. When it comes to my island, you're a stranger once, you must believe me. Where else in the world you get this immediately? Authentic love is given to each and everybody. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere but my island right here, right here.
Welcome to the Mango Festival. We got sweetness overload. Mango Festival. It's a treat for everyone. Mango Festival. A taste of Nevis naturally. Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Boy, girl, woman and man go. Give me little, give me little, give me little mango. I saw my lime and nothing go sweet. So give me little, give me little, give me little mango. Join the action, Mango Festival.
The Nevis Mango Festival from July 3rd through July 6th, 2025. 11th edition in Queen City, Nevis.
Mango Festival. Mango Fest right here in Queen City. Mango